some reason this had started recording but then stopped. Okay, we're on this slide, and I just happened to walk up front here and then notice that. Okay, and keep in mind, I think what I had said. Okay, it's still recording. Okay, meals don't have to be, they can be more organized, okay? Rather than having to feed continuously, because having a protein diet, it's much easier to digest. You wouldn't have that long digestive tract like what you would see in that of members of the deer family, because they have to, again, break down that cellulose, which is quite a bit tougher for them to accomplish. And omnivores, of course, means you're both a carnivore and an herbivore. You eat both plants and a protein diet. So members like foxes, okay, sometimes blamed for killing more than what they would need. Well, that's really not the case. They would maybe put them in a cache, and that's what we're talking about down here. The idea that you can put that away or stash it, and then when times are tough, you can go back to where that cache is. And as you're going through this, you might have to hit pause from time to time in case we're going too fast. Of course, when we're talking about the order Chiroptera, those are, of course, the bats. Not only flying mammals, but they, as you can see, use echolocation to locate their prey item. So, if you remember when we had seen the video about owls, they would use, again, their sound bounces off their ears in different manners. If it's higher, one ear's higher than the other, so if it reaches one side before the other, then they know it is higher or lower than where they're oriented. Or if it reaches one side before the other, then they know it's left or right. In this case, we're talking about impulses of sound, okay? So what we're talking about is this frequency in hertz. As it changes, okay, the impulses become longer or shorter, and the shorter the impulse in hertz, that means the closer that prey item would be. And as you can see, it's an advantage to take these animals in, or to hunt these animals in total darkness. Or at night, where it would be tough to see as well. So when we look at this, the mating seasons in this time frame, if it's in the winter time, well then chances are that offspring then would be born sometime in the summer then, and then have that opportunity to put that, grow bigger and put weight on for the upcoming winter, which would make sense, of course. And in this case, we're talking about reproduction, okay? The estrous cycle, that's just a period of time when it is that females will actually be able to reproduce. And one of the things that happens is males can perhaps sense that because of the different types of odors that is given off by that of the females. And that's how they know that the female is in an estrous cycle. Okay, the only egg layers, the monotremes, duck-billed platypus, and the spiny anteater echidna would fall into this order. Okay, I'm thinking we're getting pretty close to being done. Okay, here we see your koala bear would be an example. Of course, the most common would be a kangaroo or an opossum, all examples of a marsupial. Okay, I'm thinking we're placentals. Okay. Okay, so that does it for this chapter. Again, vocabulary quiz number 2 will be tomorrow or Tuesday, May 3rd. And then you'll have in-class time. Well, by the time you hear this, you might be done with your paper. So then Wednesday will be our last day. And that'll be it for the year for a lot of you. We'll talk about this more as that day gets closer, especially on Thursday. Okay, so that's all I have. We'll catch up to you next time.